The first battle for Chattanooga, Tennessee during the Civil War would be fought on June 7, 1862. The two commanders who would fight in the battle would be Union Brigadier General James S. Negley, and for the Confederacy, Major General Edmund Kirby Smith. Negley's division would be the Army of the Ohio, and Smith's division would be the Army of Kentucky. This would be a minor artillery battle. Come along with us as shots are fired that would lead to the Confederate Heartland Offensive. All aboard the Kentucky-Tennessee Living Time Machine. Please fasten your seatbelts and keep your arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times. But to get going, we need your help. We still need to fire up that time machine to transport us. Please help us by clicking on the like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons down below. Not only does this fire up the time machine for our flight back in time, but it convinces the YouTube algorithm that we need a bigger vehicle to reach more people who love history as much as you do. Now, back to our story. The First Battle of Chattanooga. While there are not a lot of details available about the First Battle of Chattanooga, Tennessee, we are fortunate that the battle has been preserved through time. This battle would teach the Confederacy an important lesson. The Union could and would attack at any time. During late spring of 1862, the Confederate Army came up with a different way to combat the oncoming Union forces. In order to make it more difficult for the Union Army, the troops in Chattanooga, Tennessee were split up into several commands. This action forced the Union to rethink its plan of action against the Confederate forces. Major General Ormsby Mitchell and his division were ordered to Huntsville, Alabama, to repair railroads there. It did not take long for Mitchell to occupy a 100-mile-long stretch of railroad. Mitchell would occupy the Nashville and Chattanooga and the Memphis and Charleston railroads. In May, Major General Edmund Kirby and his men would spar against Mitchell, but nothing really came of the clash. On May 29, 1862, Mitchell received the command over the Union troops between Nashville, Tennessee, and Huntsville, Alabama. Mitchell ordered an expedition. In charge would be Brigadier General James Negley. He was to take a small division of the Army of Ohio to Chattanooga with the purpose of capturing the city. On June 7th, Negley and his forces arrived just short of Chattanooga. Negley then ordered the 79th Pennsylvania Volunteers to go out and scout the area. The 79th reported back to Negley that the Confederates were entrenched along the banks and on top of Cameron Hill, on the opposite side of the river. Negley then sent infantry to the river to act as sharpshooters, and ordered 2 artillery batteries to open fire on the Confederate troops. The Union kept firing upon the Confederate entrenchments throughout the 7th and continued until noon on the 8th. The Confederate side did respond, but it was not a coordinated effort. The gunners were not a disciplined unit, and they were allowed to fire their artillery as they wished. Major General Edmund Kirby Smith, who was in command of the Army of Kentucky, had arrived on the 8th. On the 10th, Smith reported that Negley had withdrawn and that the Confederate losses were minor. The Union had losses of 23 men, and the Confederates had losses of 65 men. The attack by Negley proved that the Union could strike at any time without warning and mount assaults at will. Smith withdrew his own troops from other areas to help defend the city of Chattanooga. Because of this movement of troops, George W. Morgan was able to capture the Cumberland Gap on June 18, 1862. Thank you. We at Kentucky-Tennessee Living would like to thank you for watching our video series on the Appalachian Civil War battles. Don't forget to hit that like button, as the more likes we receive, the more likely YouTube is to suggest our videos to other viewers. Also, to receive notice when we upload a new video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification button. Be sure to double check that you are subscribed, as some of our viewers are finding that they are no longer subscribed to our channel. We thank you for continuing to support Kentucky Tennessee Living as we are discovering the mysteries in Appalachian history.